the last 10 years I have been living here, and I have certain. I wanna start living actually. I feel like I haven't started living in this past in my whole life, and currently in the country that I am, I'm not very happy. I'm not very comfortable with the people, especially uh, living here, and I would like to go back home. Thing is like both economical situation is not good back home, plus I'm certainly not going back to my old original home where I used to live, because really I used to have like a sometimes I still have when I think about it, but it's like my whole body rejects the idea of going back home where my mom and dad lives, where I used to live. It's kind of a unconscious, we could say, or something. I don't know, but it really feels difficult to go back there. So the other option would be to do something
No,
else. There's not
but
a
Fernando,
whole lot of people left after 10 years.
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear.
Fernando, you have no home left. That's the point of philosophy.
Right.
Your home is philosophy. Your home is reason, right? You don't have a home to go to that is geographical, because now you inhabit the kingdom of the sane, right? Because you've, I think, 3 or 4 times referred to Argentina as home, which, if you're an anarchist, makes little sense, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Your tribe is the thinking now, not the geographical. And that may be part of the challenge that you're facing, is that most people associate that homeness or tribalism and so on with their history. But when you vault into the clarity of philosophy, that is your home. A friend of mine got married many years ago, and he kept referring. His wife kept referring to her her family home, like a family of origin home, as home. Like, oh, we're going home to visit my parents for the weekend or whatever. And he would keep saying to her, no, this is your home. This is your home now. That is where you are from. That was your home. This is now your home. And it bothered him, and I can understand why. But that's sort of what philosophy is saying now too. This is your home. Reason and evidence and thought is your home, not the accidental Bombay drop fest of your geographical happenstance, right?
Right. I understand. Actually, makes a lot of sense, because I'm I don't know if I cannot speak for all, but I must say that I feel things very physically, like a strong physical reaction to things, either good or bad. And when you're saying like that, like philosophy is my home, it cannot resonate. Resonates in me as something that is correct, or somehow correct to me.
Yeah, I mean, people say to me, oh, Steph lives in Canada. Nope. I'm trapped in Canada. I live in philosophy, because that's the only place where there is life. There is no life in the lines drawn by ancient warlords where their slaughterfest ran into another warlord they couldn't overcome. That doesn't matter to me at all. I am trapped in Canada, as we are all trapped in our statist cages, but I don't live in Canada. You survive jail and you live when you're dreaming. And I survive statism and I live in philosophy.
Right.
Okay, so we've been talking for a couple of minutes now. I don't have any tangible sense of what your question is, so you'll need to get to the point.
Yeah. Okay, I get to the point. I'm really into sports and martial arts. I have been for since I was 16, 17. And I would like to open a CrossFit gym slash martial art place. Okay. Thing is like I don't think I can really do it, or at least be successful in it. Or at least that's what I feel in the present place where I live, because I'm not such a I'm not so proficient at the local language. Plus, I don't have many friends here. I could actually call one, maybe a friend here, after like 6 years of living in this country. That is the thing, like I'm having trouble, or maybe I shouldn't say but I think it's like there's there are troubles for me to connect with people in the local level. And I'm not a shy person usually. I'm really social. I really like to talk. And but lately, since I entered philosophy, I like, of course, the small talk and all that. But usually.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah.
So you have the wings of philosophy, but you have the anchor of excuses, right? I would like to do this, but I don't know the local language that well. I don't have that many friends. I mean, can you imagine Arnold Schwarzenegger, right? I want to be a movie star, right? I mean, he could barely. I mean, this is the man who should come with subtitles. He becomes a movie star, a real estate mogul, a steroid-based champion of the universe in weightlifting, marries a Kennedy, becomes a governor. Bangs his maid, makes bad movies, right? So, the guy was a skinny kid from Austria who willed what he wanted. So, if you want to achieve something, we could have a question about whether having a place where people can hit each other in an amateur fashion is the best use of your abilities as a philosopher or as a thinker. But let's just put that aside for the moment and just accept or imagine that it is.
Right.
What one man can do, right, another can do. Mm-hmm. So my question is, if you have the goal to open up this gym, what does proficiency with the local language have to do with it?
Well, it feels like there is something there, but I don't know, because I still, after 6 years, I don't know why I can't really connect on a deep level with the locals. Maybe it sounds like excuses again. So you gotta help me.
Well, I mean, you if you have goals, then have the goals. But if you're going to have goals and roadblocks, you're just walking in a small circle and pretending you're getting somewhere. If you want to have a goal to open up a gym, then do the research, go to a gym owner who's not in the location near where you want to open your gym, offer to buy him lunch, ask him how he did it, and make plans and make it happen. Mm-hmm. I'll give you a great secret to achieving things in this world. I hope I have some credibility in this area for reasons I've gone into before. I've started a business, started this philosophy show. And here's the great secret for getting things done. If you act like something is going to happen, it will happen. If you act like something is not going to happen, it will not happen. Right? It's the old saying, if you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. And I got this wisdom from a fundraiser, a woman who created fundraising for charity. And she would say, if you want to know how to get anything done, young man, you just act like it's going to happen. If I get a fundraiser, I have no idea who's going to be there. I have no idea what's going to happen. I have no idea where it's going to occur. And she says, I'm going to do a fundraiser for X. And she calls people up and says, I'm doing a fundraiser for X. Come along. And she calls up bands. I'm doing a fundraiser for X. And the momentum of her willpower is what pulls energy along and pulls resources into place and pulls people into place. You're a kite and the tail are the people. You act as if you are in control, as if you are in charge, and by God, you are in control and you're in charge. But if you act like, well, I'm thinking of going home, like, just look at this call. Look at this call, right? You have access to a resource, which is me. And it takes you a long time to get to the point, and you give me a lot of excuses. And I feel the energy draining out of my body while you were talking. And I feel like I just want to go put my head on a desperately sad little pillow stained with the tears of future hopes and have a nap until I fall into a grave. And that is not how you're going to get things done. Hey, if you want to open a gym, fantastic, wonderful. Let's just say that is exactly the right thing to do. Then you just start making, go scout locations, go figure out how much money you need, go read books on entrepreneurship. You act like it's going to happen, and it happens. Because most people are inert, and most people are like asteroids drifting through space. Now, when a large enough planetary body comes along, they'll start orbiting. But most people don't have any particular direction, and they feel a sweet relief when someone comes along who has energy and a plan. And they will generally fall in line with what it is that you want to do, if you are certain that this is what you want and this is how you're going to achieve it. And look, it's not brain surgery, and it's not that tough. Look, everywhere you go, and I think about this, literally everywhere I go, there's some store, like in a town we were driving through, I don't know, last year. In the middle of this small town in Ontario, there's a British tuck shop, which is, we're going to import stuff from England and sell it in the back of a mall. Now that's insane, right? I mean, who would think of that? But it happens. And everywhere you go, there are gyms, there are karate stores, there are craft stores, there are birthday party stores. Every single one of the stores that you go to visit, every single one of the businesses you see in the phone book or online, every single one of those started as an idea in someone's head that they executed on.
Yeah.
So it's not like you're saying, I want to go to the moon, which has only happened to, a half dozen or a dozen people in the history of mankind. You're saying, I want to open a gym. Well, you could go and work at a gym and work your way up and then offer to buy out the gym, or at least work your way up and figure out how the gym works, right? There's so much stuff that you can do. But my concern, Fernando, is that you know all of this, right? I'm not telling you anything you don't fundamentally know, right?
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, if you were in some reality show where people said, we will pay you $5 million if you do everything that's necessary to open a gym, you don't even have to open the gym, right? But then you would be motivated, because there'd be like $5 million at the end of that process, right?
Yeah.
And you would do it. And when I lack motivation, I say, well, is there any way for me to be motivated, right?
I see.
Now, if there's no way for me to be motivated, then I give up the goal, right? And Mike and Stoyan and I, we've, let's try this, and then we let it fall by the wayside, and maybe we'll revisit it. But you have goals, and you say, is there any way? I don't feel motivated to do it. Well, is there any way that I would be motivated to do it? Well, if so, I imagine those are the circumstances, and I just go and do it. If there's no way for me to be motivated to do it, then I will just do it maybe later or maybe never. But there are certain circumstances under which you would take the steps necessary to achieve what you want, right? So either you're going to take those steps, and you know what they are, right? You're either going to take those steps or you're not. Now, one of the ways in which you can waste and destroy and cripple years and years and years of your life, Fernando, is you can have a goal that you are vaguely and indifferently pursuing. In other words, you can have, well, I would like to do X, and you have that in the back of your mind. And that is a demon that will suck the lifeblood out of your very bone marrow and will end up spitting you after a decade or two on the blind husk, downward drifting sewage garbage heap of possibilities. If you have a goal, do it or don't do it. Don't dream about it. Don't think about it. When I was, I don't know, I'm trying to remember when I wrote my first novel. I was like 11 years old, called By the Light of an Alien Sun. It was a science fiction story about a man trying to woo a woman in a space station. And I remember my English teacher ran it out to the class, and there was a very thinly veiled reference to Amy, the girl in the class I was very interested in. And everybody had a hugely great time listening to the story. Anyway, and then, I wanted to write plays. I wrote plays. I wanted to produce a play. I produced a play. Look, I'm not trying to sort of pump myself up and say, well, I did it. And what I'm trying to say is that I remember saying to my English teacher that I wanted to write a novel about Russia in the 19th century. I was fascinated at the degree to which nihilism drove the revolution, the Marxist revolution that ended up taking place in Russia in 1917. Before that, there was a whole generation of nihilists with Sergei Nakayev, and Alexander Herzen was his sort of mentor. Sergei Nakayev was this monstrous narcissistic sociopath that everybody was fascinated by. Turgenev wrote a novel about him called Fathers and Sons. Dostoevsky wrote a novel about him called The Possessed. And I found him equally fascinating. This is raw, naked, blind, predatory drive for power over others, cloaked in the most obfuscatory webs of ideology that is amazing. It's amazing the camouflage that evil can take under the cover of ideology. And my English teacher was like, oh, yeah, whatever. I mean, how many kids does she get through saying they want to write a novel? Next year I came back, had the novel, wrote the novel. I wrote the novel, wrote like 3 different endings. And, oh, man, it was a battle to get the novel written. But I was incredibly happy with the novel. And strangely enough, many years later, that novel led to me meeting my wife because we were playing we were playing volleyball. And she said, how was your day? I said, fantastic. I just got my first novel published. And it sort of went from there. So although the novel never made me a fortune, it made me the greatest fortune, which was my heart's treasure, which is my family. The novel gave birth to my daughter. And you don't know where your passions are going to lead you. I did radio in college. Right? With no intention of ever becoming or having anything to do with radio or public speaking or anything like that. I studied philosophy for years. I didn't dream about studying philosophy. I studied philosophy. I didn't dream about writing novels. I wrote novels. And what comes out of that is impossible to know. This is why I say all the steps necessary to open a gym. So take all of those steps. Whether you end up opening a gym doesn't matter. Propulsion meets those in motion. Mm-hmm. You need to really, really absorb that phrase. Propulsion meets those in motion. It never meets those standing still. When you are in motion, you get a jetpack. When you are not in motion, you get an anvil. You must be in motion. You must be in pursuit. You must be on the goal towards achievement. Whether you achieve, what you achieve, how you achieve, who knows? And frankly, who gives a shit? Life is the pursuit, not the acquisition, right? We're like dogs chasing the mail truck. What the hell do we do when we catch it? I don't know. It was fun to chase it. Life's a journey, right? Not a destination. So you must, Fernando, get yourself in motion. So my question is, forget all of the excuses, because the excuses are covering up something deeper. What is preventing you from doing the obvious and sensible things that you need to do to pursue your dream?
Oh, well, what you just said, I like this. Propulsion gets those in motion. Really resonated in me. I have been already for a couple of months, of course, training very hard for this. Gym, and I actually bought a physiology book, for human physiology and all that. So I'm kind of reading on and off, But
why? Sorry, what does a physiology book? I mean, I'm sure that's a good answer. I just don't know, what does a physiology book have to do with opening a gym?
Well, because I think it's related to like the human body. So you start to learn how the joints and the muscle and the whole kind of a body system works together. And
What does that have to do with opening a gym?
uh, well, if I am going to teach in a gym, I'm supposed to know, I think, about the body motions and how it works, how it can
Wait. Do you
improve.
want to open a gym or teach in a gym?
Yeah, it's the teaching in a gym, Steph. Sorry, maybe I wasn't so specific. It's a CrossFit gym, okay? So it's like a class, where you teach people, movements and all that, and then you have a kind of the very intense class for 20 minutes, half an hour, and then that's it. So it's kind of a very different from the regular gym.
So you want to be like a CrossFit trainer?
A coach, yeah.
And this is sort of, and I don't mean to diminish it, but it's sort of like being an aerobics instructor, but for CrossFit and for more martial stuff.
Yeah. That's what I got in mind. Of course, of course.
And how much are you going to make doing that?
Well, actually, CrossFit gyms make quite a bit of money. I mean, more than enough as far as I have seen.
Wait, hang
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
You said CrossFit gyms make quite a bit of money, but you're not talking about owning a gym. You're talking about teaching a class in a gym.
Yeah. Well, thing is, like, I would like to own a CrossFit gym. Open my own gym up, and then teach
Ah,
there.
you just
Yeah.
told me that you wanted to teach a course, not open a gym.
Sorry, my mistake.
Okay, so you want to open, because I said, do you want to open a gym or teach in a gym? And you said, no, I may have been confused. I just want to teach. And I said, okay, how much do you make? And then you say, okay, I want to
Yeah,
teach
yeah.
and,
Sorry.
right? Okay, well, okay, you can't do both at the same time, right? You can't, right? If you're going to be starting up a gym and you don't have the qualifications and experience to teach at that gym, you shouldn't try to do both, right?
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Oh, Jeremy, do you want to put her on? We have someone who is a CrossFit coach. Would she like to give some advice to our good friend Fernando?
Oh, great.
And also maybe she should lead us all in a CrossFit workout. I got my weights here. I think that would be good for the brain. And for people who don't know, just while we sort of figure out whether Jeremy can bring her on, just by the by, so people say, well, why do you do weights while you are doing call? Because sometimes I'm standing here for like 3 or 4 hours. And I think we've all seen pictures of Rush Limbaugh in his big, squishy first-class airline seat. And I can see what that has in terms of drinking that butt whitener beer. And so I do the weights because it keeps my blood flowing, keeps my energy going, and it's a useful thing. I don't want the last listeners or the later listeners to get less brain blood than the first ones. Oh, she's not interested? Okay. All right. So that's a shame. It would have been a nice thing for her to help. But so if you want to if you want to own a gym, then you focus on owning the gym. So this is what reading a book on physiology is not going to help you own a gym. Fat guys can own gyms. I'm not saying you're fat, but it doesn't matter. It's a business venture. And that's why if you're going to own a gym, then you need to get the space and you need to figure out what equipment you want in the space and you need to start hiring staff and you need to get the money for the lease and you need to do all of that kind of stuff, right? And
Right.
all of those things, like reading a book on physiology, is just procrastination because that is in no way, shape, or form getting you closer to owning a gym, right?
True.
That's just something where you say, well, I guess I'm preparing in some manner to, right? Just go and start to open the gym. Now, after you've opened the gym, you may hire someone who's really good at that. You may observe them. You may learn from them. And then if you want to do some training in that gym, then you can do that. But if you're learning how to be a trainer, that's one thing. Go do that. If you want to open a gym, that's another thing. But you need to focus on what you have is a bunch of clouds that are getting you through the day, and I would imagine warding off some significant sadness, right? Because we have dreams that we're not pursuing in order to avoid a nightmare that we're currently living.
Yeah.
Right. So what is this, if this theory is true, and you can tell me if it's not, but what is this dream of yours warding off? What if you didn't have this dream? Because fundamentally, you don't have the dream. A dream that is not put into motion is a fantasy, right? A dream that you don't act on is a delusion. So if you didn't have this cross-training gym ideal, what is your life like?
Well, if I didn't have any training at all, like
No, forget training. If you didn't have this dream,
then I think I don't have anything, to be honest.
right? So having this dream without acting on it is not having anything. And it's worse than not having anything, because if you know you don't have anything, you can work to achieve something. But if all you have is a dream covering in nothing, then you're throwing yourself down a well of futility, right? So, I'm not saying you can't have the gym. Obviously, what does it matter? You can have whatever you want in life if you're willing to work for it. But what are you avoiding? What's your life like without this dream that you're not acting on? What is this covering up for you?
Quite boring. Very, very, very boring. Like with a, one meaningful friend that I talk to through Skype and through videos. He lives there back in Argentina. And then here, I started meeting these two guys. They seem quite.
No, you're telling me about your social circles, Fernando. I need you to tell me about what's going on in your heart. What is going on inside of you? What is going on in your feelings?
Well, I feel quite alone, yeah, and it's I know I'm dragging things from childhood, and I feel both. I hope I'm making sense. I'm sorry, Stefan, if I'm not making any sense.
No. Now you're making sense for the first time, really, since we started talking. Now you're making sense. You didn't interrupt and apologize yourself before. Don't you dare do it now, brother. Keep going. So you're dragging. What are you dragging around from your childhood?
Like, loneliness, and I used to be, all my dreams, or not. I'm not gonna say only dreams, but a kind of thoughts and all that. They were crushed, or they were laughed at.